What's up everyone and welcome to Flames Reaction channel. Now in this video we're going to check some of the greatest legendaries of all wrestling, um the Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. And before we start this video, I want you guys to hit that like, comment, and that subscribe button, and also do not forget to hit that notification bell whenever I drop a brand new video. And also please follow me on TikTok, and the link will be description down below. And once again, I want to say rest in peace to Eddie Guerrero, the man who built his legacy from WCW all the way up to WWE. And without further ado, man, let's go ahead and check out this classic interview from the great Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
You know, everybody had jungle gyms in the backyard and had a wrestling ring. There was a lot of pressure on the name, holding the name, wrestling with the name. There was a big pressure on me. Like I said, it's fed us. You know, my dad came from a very poor family, you know, and he went into a gym to learn how to box. There was no boxing. It was wrestling. That's how he got into wrestling. They had me already in the semis, you know, in those high matches without even paying my dues. So naturally, I mean, like the first 3 months I wrestled in Juarez, I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was literally almost a fist fight every time I went into the ring with the other wrestlers. These guys that took me in and befriended me when not a lot of people would. And they didn't care who my dad was.
Right.
Everywhere you go in the business, there's a lot of politics. I don't care what you say. Everywhere and anywhere you go, there's politics. Some is just more abrupt than others. But everywhere you go, there's politics. I never done anything like that. Never rebelled against a promoter or done business that way. You know, I was always very loyal. And until I found out this business, you know, it's a very independent business, unfortunately. And you know, you can only have so much loyalty. I mean, the first memories I got of Japan is meeting Chris Benoit, which is, he's like a brother to me now. He knocked me out in our first match together. Even before that, his attitude with me and my attitude with him. I shouldn't say him, I should say me.
Right.
I guess my attitude towards him was changing positive because, you know, first of all, who am I to judge? You know, and I found myself being judgmental and being wrong in the way I was portraying him. Business-wise, well, he's out for himself. And he even told me one time, he goes, well, you know, if it means whether I go to Japan or you, I said, well, I'll see you when I get back. You know, and well, that's the way this business is. You can't hold that against him, you know, because the mentality in Mexico, oh no, I'm a superstar, I can't sell. And me and Art were like, oh, okay, you don't want to sell. I was maced twice, piss thrown at me, bags of piss, Pampers full of shit. Pesos thrown at me, you know, hitting the head, almost in the eye, rocks. I wouldn't know how to be a baby face here in the States. The only reason I was kind of a baby face with China was, I mean, as Latino, he was because of China. They wanted to like China, but they wanted to hate me.
Right.
If I don't like something, usually it's me that has to change.
Right.
You know, it's very easy for me to point the finger at somebody and say, well, you did this, what this. She called me and she was crying. I said, what's the matter? And she was, heart's dead. I said, what? She said, before that in Japan, about a year and a half before, I'd been blackballed out of Mexico for about close to a year.
What was that?
So I was, it was really exciting because they sold out the Sumo Palace like in a day or 2 days or something like that, and with nothing but junior heavyweights. That was a big breaking point. All the fans I love. That's an experience I will never forget. ECW, oh man, awesome. Chills. I remember at the end, I knew I was leaving something special. I knew I was leaving a moment that doesn't last forever. I knew that. Then, that when we were standing in the ring at the end, but the night before, we both caught food poisoning, and we had to be taken in the hospital, and, you know, I had to wrestle, and I had this IV in me, you know, and I just remember them pulling out this big old shot, like this big horse shot with a needle about that long, you know. They were walking with it, you know, and there was this old man sitting next to me, And I was thinking, oh man, poor old man, look what they're gonna shoot him up with. And they started coming to me, and that I did not agree with. And I'm coming off Florida. That was a bunch of bullshit. That was total politics. Taking that match was to get him over, not me over, and that's fine. I don't mind getting anybody over. Just come on, shoot straight up with me. It's for me to get over. Okay, fine, then I'll do the job. But don't try and do that. I felt the wool was being pulled over my eyes. Even though when I told him I wanted my release and he threw coffee at my feet and stuff. Uh, I love Ray. I love him like my little brother. That's how much I think of Ray. I heard we were called.
But I don't mean to pause the video, but I do want to say one thing about Eddie Guerrero. Um, One thing I like about Eddie Guerrero is that he built his legacy and his career by making sure that he he keeps his he like kind of like stay on board with his character wise, whether he's a baby face or a heel and stuff like that. Because when Eddie Guerrero first came, um, when Eddie Guerrero first came to WWE, he was like this big heel, the biggest heel when he was joining with the Radicals with Perry Saturn. Um, I, I forgot how many member it was from the Radicals from the old Attitude Era, but yeah, Eddie Guerrero was one of the biggest heels from from the 2000s growing up, and but either way this goes, whether Eddie Guerrero was a babyface or a heel, the fans, the crowd and the fans reacted to him, and they love him for it. So yeah,
Called the Vanilla
that's
Midgets.
what
Me
makes Eddie Guerrero the
and
best.
Dean, because we had no flavor to our wrestling. We had no charisma. We had no entertainment value. I mean, I'd taken some GHB before I left the house. I'd taken some and I got hungry, and I really wasn't thinking. And I went to the store. It was New Year's Day. I went to the store down the street, and it was New Year's Day. It was closed, so I went down to the convenience store about about 8 miles up. And on the way back, it hit me. Fell asleep at the wheel. They said I was going 130 miles when I flipped. I got a lot of fear for pills and all that when Art died. And I really never touched them until I would experiment with them here and there, or use them socially. But after that car accident, with the pain that I had inside and all that, I just lost fear of them. And having an addictive personality the way I do, it was very easy. That was it, I became an addict. And I saw the same bullshit coming up. The same bullshit. And I just felt it. And it didn't feel right. I wanted out. So when Chris and Dean approached me, and Perry and the other guys, I was a shoe in already. I mean, they didn't even have to ask me. Um, there's a joke. It's not a joke, but it's a truth. When Perry and Dean and Chris were talking about it, they said, "Well, should we call Eddie and let him know?" They said, "Oh, he's in. Don't worry about it." And when we confronted Bill Bush, we had already wanted out. Like, I don't know how many months before that, and even me and Dean went to talk to Paulie when they wrestled up in Florida. Right. We were there, so yeah. I mean, we wanted out, and we didn't care if it was going to Japan and ECW again, or if it ultimately went to WWF. Just excited. Another dream come true. Never thought I'd be in a WrestleMania. I was in a WrestleMania. Chris? Yeah. Oh, sheesh. That is my brother. I love that. I love working with Chris. Against him, right? With him, anything. Chris he's like Liger. Works for the match, not for himself. Man, I don't want to play my violin here. I've been doing that for 7 months now. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. I don't want to feel sorry for myself anymore. I want to take responsibility for what I did. But I talked to one of the agents, and they said, "No, you're not going to be fired, but this is it. You got to really straighten up." And I was in Cincinnati that Monday, and I got a message from that certain agent, and they had talked to the people on top, obviously. and um, they called back and left a message on my phone while I was at the gym, and I knew it. I knew it when I got the message, so I called back. This time, right now, as of today, and since the DUI, I've been staying sober. First of all, one step at a time, one day at a time, by the graces of God, and with a lot of help from friends and and a program, you know. And I'm doing it this time because I want to stay sober for me. But success for me right now, and probably from now until the day I die, I'll always measure, you know, my performance in the ring, how I can please the true wrestling fans and the new wrestling fans, and respect of my comments on what I do. As far as business wise, real success comes in personal life, which is my biggest battle right now. Those are my memories, man. Standing in the ring and feeling that's what I love in there. You know, uh, I got a little taste of that this past week again. It felt good. I haven't had that in a long time. I'm not. There's still a little bit in the gas tank.
All right, y'all. If you enjoy that video, once again, don't forget to like and comment and tune in on the next video. I'm out. Peace.